That actually makes sense. So you start doing math, you're taking the classes you enjoy on the side, which kudos to you because I know how hard it is just to focus on your degree and get that done. At what point did this whole trading scene start entering your life? I understand that, it's a pretty tied in part of being a mathematics or computer science or physics major at some of these universities, but when did you become aware of it?
Yeah. So I guess I was sort of vaguely aware of it for a while, just because it's like a thing a lot of math people talk about, and like trading firms will sponsor high school math competitions and stuff like that. But I didn't really think it was for me. I guess for a while, I like talked to some people who had done trading internships, and they were like, "Oh, it's like really competitive and intense, and everyone is yelling at each other." And I was like, "Oh God, that sounds scary." Yeah. And then I guess in junior year, I just didn't really know what to do with my life. And I was like, what do math majors do? I guess I'll like apply to internships at some trading firms to see how that is. And yeah, then I ended up getting some offers. So that,
And which one did you go with?
I went with Jane Street.
Oh, so okay, you had the internship with them as well.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
that makes sense actually. That's where you get into the job from. So you went to Jane Street. Are you allowed to discuss
Good
the
morning,
interview?
crypto pioneers, guys. Today I put together a hell of a deep dive on Alameda Research, FTX, follow the money. You guys, this is kind of disturbing, some of the connections that I uncovered in this video. Deep dive for sure, guys. I've been on a series just basically following the money of FTX, Alameda, and some of the political connections. I mean, good God. I decided first we followed the money a different way. Now we're going to follow it to like, whoa. Like, I cannot believe some of the names that's being backed by or the ties to Sam. Guys, it's a hell of a video. Smash that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Is the whole crypto market being held together by Sam Bankman-Fried and Alameda Research? That's kind of interesting here, guys. Also, I've been working on a theme on my other channel. Last funding round in crypto history, CEO of Alameda. He was the most influential in 2021. SBF, largest funding round in crypto history, was 900 million received from Coinbase, Paradigm, 60 investors, BNB. Also, Crypto Emperor's Vision, No Pants. We talked about that. FBS, SBF, FTX Exchange has raised the largest funding round in crypto history. We talked about that. FTX establishes $2 billion fund to invest in crypto startups. Most influential person in 2021, 900 million mega round. FTX strikes deal with Major League Baseball. Paul Tudor Jones takes part in 900 million funding round. At least 20 billionaires got burnt by Sam. An eye of the tiger. So this is going to be a whole new rabbit hole. Is the whole crypto market being held together by SBF and Alameda? This morning on CNBC Squawk Box, host Jim Cramer stated that the whole crypto market is being held together by Sam Bankman-Fried and Alameda Research. Cramer also wondered out loud if SBF had the crash. Here is what you should know about SBF and his investment arm company. Alameda Research is a primary Hong Kong-based private equity company launched by SBF in October 2017. This gets really interesting, guys. Now, I'm going to go to this video right here real quick. This is a video I found on Alameda Research, an explainer video. Only if Sam would apply some of these techniques to his own exchange.
Be sold off almost immediately. This can have really large impact. In fact, enough that it often drives the price of Bitcoin down enough that even more accounts are in danger of going bankrupt and need to get liquidated.
Whoa, liquidated, more accounts in danger. Goodness gracious. FTX sparks lobbying exodus from Bankman-Fried's empire. SBF empire bleeding lobbyists. Now, I believe, guys, that he was really trying to work his way in Washington. He was hiring all these lobbyists and these fake different organizations to promote his agenda or try to basically get a free pass. And that's what it looks like to me. Let me know in the comments after this video. Lobbyists have raced to cut ties with SBF Crypto Exchange as well as the Pandemic Preparedness Group seated by the former FTX executive. We're going to talk about that group he funded, and his brother Gabe Fried was the leader. Rich Furo, which signed FTX USA arm earlier this year on Monday, filed termination paperwork dated November 11th. Conway Graves Group, the lobbying firm founded by former House Agriculture Chair Mike Conway and his chief of staff, severed ties with FTX early last week. CNBC Brian Schultz, who first reported that FTX had been dropped by Conway Graves, also writes that the exchange sole in-house lobbyist L.R. Katz is no longer with the company. And also, guys, I got a lot of good stuff on some of these names I'm bringing out here. Katz, who did not respond to the request for the component in her bio page on the website, Crotch Institute for Tech Diplomacy in Purdue. I actually got them pulled up in here also. Where is that or not? I got the clip on this. It'll be coming up. Also, the fallout of K Street also hasn't seemed limited to just FTX. Ridge Policy Group, the firm run by former DHS Secretary Tom Ridge, confirmed to PI that it no longer represents Guarding Against Pandemics. And that's the one group we're going to highlight today, Guarding Against Pandemics. The Pandemic Preppers Advocacy Group, started by Bankman-Fried brother Gabe and funded by Sam. So this was the big wash right here through the Guarding Against Pandemic. And in that way, they would basically fund future people that were running for certain positions. They would fund them if they backed the Guarding Against Pandemics. And then they would say, oh, we'll throw $1 million to you for your campaign. And when they get elected, bam, then Sam has a friend in office. So the nonprofit had begun to ramp up its lobbying footprint last year, bringing on Van Associates, Agalo, and Capital Counsel last month. It hired Monument Advocacy, Van Shock, and Capital Counsel. Both parted ways with the group earlier this year. They filed termination paperwork this week. So it gets really good, guys. I'm telling you. Here goes the CEO of Alameda, Caroline. And here it is right here, guys. Here's Sam's week, and here's Guarding Against Pandemics, what we just talked about, early life and education. His brother, Gabe Bankman-Fried, a former Wall Street trader and director of the nonprofit Guarding Against Pandemic. Now that, I had to jump down the rabbit hole on that. So we got some really good stuff here. Sam Bankman, known as SBF, American entrepreneur, investor, and former CEO of FTX, quantitative trading firm Alameda Research. So we got that. Also, Kroc Institute Diplomacy at Purdue adds 2 new senior visiting fellows, and this is the one I just talked about right here. This is Aaron Katz. Now, Washington, D.C., the Kroc Institute Tech at Purdue announced 2 new senior visiting fellows, adding new depth and expertise in global supply chains, telecommunications. Now, you get down here, Eleanor Katz and Scott Freeman are going to handle complex issues, but Eleanor Katz is the Director of Government Relations and Policy at FTX US, the fastest growing exchange in the United States. Prior to FTX US, Katz served as a professional staff member on the U.S. Senate Banking Committee. Her role, Katz, covered the intersection of national security, financial services. Her portfolio included Bank Secrecy Act, anti-money laundering, combating financial international economic sanctions, the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. So hold up. She was the FTX USA policy government relations person, and all this was going on right under her eyes? No way. She oversaw efforts by FinCEN, BIS, Bank of International Settlements, Security Exchange Commission, and the Treasury Department to enhance integrity of financial systems and advance U.S. economic geo objectives. Come on, goodness. What's going on here? Scott Freed most recently served as a senior policy advisor to the House Committee on Homeland Security. So basically, guys, he was like hiring all these people thinking that he was going to be getting in good with, getting a free pass, it seemed. Jane Street. Now, I did a little bit of research on where all these people came from. All 3 of the top employees at Alameda all came from Jane Street. I believe they wanted to apply the Jane Street tactics to digital assets, because Jane Street is in New York and in Hong Kong, and he started FTX in Hong Kong. This guy tried to duck regulation from day one, I believe. Jane Street, the top Wall Street firm no one heard of. A year ago, the world seemed oblivious to the signs that a novel virus outbreak was serious, global threat. But one of Wall Street's biggest but most secretive money machines saw the debacle coming and batted down the hatches. Jane Street may be little known on the outside community, and even they're most famously for their cultist dedication, programming language, but the company has become the world's largest market maker, trading more than $17 trillion worth of securities in 2020. Now, if you guys go back to Sam Bankman, he was an early employee at Jane Street. In the summer 2013, Bankman-Fried began working at Jane Street Capital. Also, the Alameda CEO, Caroline, also is from Jane Street, which I just showed you guys in the podcast clip I played. She got a job at Jane Street also. And also the other CEO of Alameda also worked at Jane Street. So that's just kind of interesting. Now, Jane Street, maybe little known. It's for lubricating trading exchange traded funds, which manage nearly $8 trillion in assets, according to data provider. Jane Street is especially dominant in the niche, rapidly growing world of bond ETFs. That power has allowed it to reach beachhead to corporate bond trading, where it's now go toe to toe with some of Wall Street's most pedigreed businesses. Jane Street is this big, important, and growing player that no one's really heard of. So that's kind of interesting. And also, guys, they kind of compare the notes and data and how these guys made it. And he basically applied these techniques to crypto. With the lack of regulation, that's what he did. He took advantage of crypto because of the lack of regulation. He applied some of these shady techniques that Jane Street uses. Some would debate shady, but Jane Street has always been a little paranoid, with executives constantly fretting about the risk and probable but catastrophic crashes. Even beyond trading desks, routine hedging and positions, Jane Street company level spends $50 million to $75 million a year in on-put options, derivatives that pay out if markets slump. In early February, the firm aggressively ramped this up to ensure it could still confidently keep trading even if turmoil hits the market. So basically, what's going on here? It seems like Sam is pulling a play from Jane Street. Our basic service standing ready to buy and sell ETFs, and this is why I'm showing you this video right here. He applied the same techniques from Jane Street to crypto.
This can cause a sort of chain reaction, where each series of liquidations moves markets down enough that another set of accounts needs to get liquidated. This domino effect can in turn drive the market down as much as 30% in a single day, causing this cascading set of liquidity failures, like what happened with banks in the 2008 financial crash.
Or what happened with FTX a month ago. So that's really interesting right there. So now if I go to some more of the data, now this is Jane Street traders in New York offices. You can't tell me this does not look like SBF headquarters also. He mimicked this right here. If you guys seen the video, the SBF video where he makes, that'll upload. Also, liquidity warning. Signs from financial distress were visible when global economy went into lockdown last March, but one of the most alarming were the huge differences that opened up between tumbling price and bond ETFs and the value of the securities they held. Some analysts warned the potential of a liquidity doom loop, arguing that massive ETF selling was harming the underlying bond market, which could have accumulated in market meltdowns had not the Fed intervened. So, now if you go down here, guys, here goes Jane Street traders in Hong Kong. So this is where Sam Bankman was actually stationed in Hong Kong, and it looks like they're running some maybe Americans out of the Jane Street in Hong Kong. And what they probably had to, I wouldn't be surprised if FTX Exchange wasn't the next office next door to this right here, Jane Street. These results suggest the market liquidity conditions were resilient in the fixed income. Fed thumbs up. For firms like Jane Street, which estimates that it accounts for almost a third of primary and secondary trading in U.S. bonds ETFs, it was a nirvana. In the first 6 months 2020, Jane Street made $6.3 billion in adjusted profit, up more than 1,000% from the same period in 2019. And the first half net trading revenue were $8.4 billion, according to financial data shared with some of the lenders last year. So you kind of see what they were doing at Jane Street. Citadel Securities, King Griffin, we showed a clip with him yesterday. Almost every trading desk enjoyed the trading bonanza in 2020. Jane Street's first half revenues were equivalent to 1/7 of the combined fixed income, commodities, and currency trading revenues of all the world's biggest banks over the same period, according to Research and Coalition Group. So, Jane Street executives discussing financial details, pricing power, and I'm going to get to the good part down here. Sometime in the early 2000s, trio from traders and another big market maker, the former IBF developer, set up what will become Jane Street. Okay, that's interesting. Sometime in 2000, a trio of traders, another big market maker from IBM developer Mark Gerstein, set up what will become Jane Street, initially trading mainly options and American depository receipts. U.S. traded stocks oversee listed companies and old American stock exchange. Interesting. Tim Reynolds, Michael Jenkins soon joined a medley of traders and coders such as John Minsky, who convinced the firm to adopt the OCaml in its sole programming language. Kind of goes into the numbers down here big time. What known for Wall Street, least known trader tycoons, Jane Street made a move into trading directly with investment groups in 2014, historically dominated by big banks. It's now expanding its business in Asia and planning to push more aggressively into the equity market options. The 2020 highlights how big, influential, growing bond ETF universe is, how virtually important the firms like Jane Street are to functioning, and some has downsides. Equity ETFs are now supported by market makers. It went on to go say how basically Jane Street just came in and just started crushing it with algorithmic trades and just using technology. And basically, I think he applied that same, here it is, pricing power. The reason Jane Street has been able to see such a big role in bond ETFs trading is that its approach of high-speed algorithmic power trading firms like virtual or jump trading and human bond trades that are still dominant in Wall Street trading desks. So basically, they're saying they use algorithmic trades. And same thing like BlackRock is talking about. Interesting. I want to get this video done. We got to go live in less than an hour. I will link the live stream channel in the description. Make sure you guys subscribe to the live stream channel. And I will be turning it up on this channel also. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. So on this one right here, I found a lot of good news. I'll put all this in the description. Alameda Research. Alameda Research is a Hong Kong-based private equity founded by Sam Bankman in 2017. Bunch of good news. Bunch of investments. 108 million in BNB. I actually looked up some of these tokens, guys, and I found a lot of fishy stuff. I actually took a lot of stuff down from the video because I just didn't want to really call out too many people's names that might have been connected. I'm not here to damage anybody. I just want to cover the news of what's going on. Crypto Watch, 155 million worth of rat BNB put into Alameda Research. What are they investing in? And this is actually really interesting because I actually did research on some of these tokens, and I actually found some of them were fake. It's like one of them, I'm telling you, I found a big rabbit hole. We'll talk about it on the live stream today. A lot of, it's the reason I didn't pull up a lot of the names that I ran across, because the question really is, did this person know that Sam was a fraud? Did they not know? So I don't want to say, oh, this person was connected to him, and could they have known? I don't want to, question, did they know or did they not? I just want to follow the money, basically. So, looks like loading here again. Having issues with this stream lately. What's going on here? So, Sam Tobacco quit CEO of Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda Research. So there was situations where the previous CEO stepped down, and then Caroline got put in the spot. I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, I did a little bit of research on these players in the Alameda. I think these were a bunch of kids that tried to apply some of their fancy Jane Street tactics, because all three of them worked at Jane Street. SBF, Trump or no. I found this one searching some Sam Bankman stuff last night. Let's move forward, get this video done. If you guys can smash that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. If you appreciate, if you like the content, let me know below what you think of the video. Tobacco steps down. No longer willing to work as long as his staff. The co-CEO Sam Bankman-Fried crypto hedge fund steps down. So after just a year at the realm, the co-CEO of Sam Bankman-Fried's crypto empire, Alameda Research, is leaving the rat race to spend more time with his boat. He's on a boat, in a Twitter thread titled "On Happiness," Sam Tobacco admitted he has found other things more worthwhile. I bet he started uncovering that this house of cards was collapsing. That's my belief. He's talking about, I want to spend more time with my boat. Like, yeah, right, bro. So, he steps down as the CEO. Let's take a deeper look at, here's Sam Tobacco steps down as Alameda CEO. New CEO appointed. After Tobacco quits, the firm already appointed his replacement. In October, Caroline Ellison was appointed as the CEO of crypto company, and Lanson became a trader for the company at the beginning of 2018. All three of these are from Jane Street. Sam Bankman, a billionaire crypto industry, launched Alameda, which daily transactions of billions of dollars. He gave Tribaco and Ellison control of a well-known crypto trading company in October so he could concentrate on FTX exchange. According to Tribaco, his time at Alameda was most formative in his life. The MIT graduate previously worked as a trader at the International Group before joining the company. So he worked at Jane Street also. I might have it pulled up in here. Let me see. EFI Kingdom secures 5.2 million raised from co-led by Binance and Alameda Research. So even December 2021, it looks like Alameda and Binance were still investing in projects together, and that goes to the rabbit hole I showed you guys at the beginning of the video. Because my belief is, if you gave FTX and Alameda $900 million, Binance, there's no way you did not realize that this guy did not have the liquidity he was saying. So basically right here, clearly says it, bridging the financial system, Binance, Alameda, that's CZ and SBF right there. So what else do we got here? Okay, so this is Tara McAuley. Basically, she was the head at Alameda Research. Quick facts. Okay, this was actually the co-founder of Alameda Research. So I'm basically following all the money here. Tara Mac, I started Alameda Research with Sam in 2017. In April 2018, I and a group of others all quit, in part due to concerns over risk management and other business ethics. Now, come on. Well, if it was going down like that, I started venture fund with some of this group to do things differently. We have never had a connection to Sam, FTX, or Alameda, except for recently starting to trade on FTX with small size. I haven't even spoken to Sam since 2018. Hold up. So this is actually the founder of Alameda Research. If I go back to, let me go back here. I want to show you guys. So basically, Sam Bankman right here, billionaire. Let me see where he started. Alameda Research, Jane Street Capital right there. It's in here somewhere. I can Google it right now. But that's the co-founder. That's the co-founder of Alameda Research right here. I guess I just want to kind of prove my fact. So we just Google her name right here. And, yep, right here, Alameda. So, Terry Mac, why I quit? Facts. I started Alameda. So basically, right here, guys, I started Alameda. So basically, why she quit? I started Alameda with Sam in 2017, and that's what she says right there. Maybe she's even said it up here on the one tweet. Let me see. Caroline Mack. Okay, quick facts. I started. Okay, so that was actually a different tweet. So kind of interesting there, guys. So anyway, let's move on. Let's get this video out. So basically, preparing for the next pandemic. Here's Guardians Against Pandemics. I just showed you guys that Sam Bankman brother is the leader of this group, and Sam is the big time funder. And I'm telling you guys, you should see some of the stuff that I actually uncovered. I actually uncovered where they would donate to people running for office before the election. If you would basically echo their agenda, they would donate $1 million to your campaign. And I actually found somebody in Florida that won off of taking some of the money from Sam and pushing his agenda. And, you know, but his agenda kind of changed because once Sam donates to you, he's donating to people before they get elected. This is how he was planning on trying to cover his butt or basically get a free pass. And I decided not to bring the politician's name up because it's a younger guy. I don't want to take, you know, any of his hard work away from, because Sam messed it up. But maybe I'll talk about it some more soon in the podcast. But basically, he thought he was going to start an FTX or a nonprofit or a fake profit called, you know, Guardians of Prevention. FTX class founder poured millions into pandemic prevention. And this is how he was really washing the money through all these lobbyists. Harnessing enormous wealth created by FTX, the crypto exchange that Sam Bankman-Fried founded, they undertook a project to spend potentially billions of dollars on pandemic prevention, a long neglected priority in Capitol Hill. Now, the plan draw from brothers to a philosophy called altruism sought to maximize philanthropy, giving ways that could have the most impact. The Bankman-Frieds, see, it's him and his brother. This is how they plan to get into Washington. The Bankman-Frieds began making contributions on a staggering scale. A Washington Post review of the lobbyist disclosures, federal records, and other sources found that the brothers and their network have spent at least $70 million since October 2021 on research project campaign donations, mostly campaign donations, and other initiatives to improve biosecurity and basically help them cover their ass and get a free pass. That was what this boils down to. But all of a sudden, FTX collapsed. So you guys know how that goes. But I'm just going to get this video done. I did find their Twitter, guarding against pandemics, is still up. Interesting enough. But a lot of their stuff has been taken down as far as the FTX stuff. Cats, SBF, tweets and replies. And I actually think, okay, this is the Nora Katz. Let me see. Yep, she took her account down. This is the Nora Katz right here. And from the original post I showed you, she was like the FTX top person with major Washington connections. She deleted her account, the Katz, in the beginning. Where's it right here? She don't want nothing to do with Sam. Don't even connect me to that. So basically right here, here's Nora Katz. I just showed you Eleanor Katz. Government relations and policy at FTX. And then if you go to her the Twitter, Eleanor Katz, this account doesn't exist no more. Damn, Sam, you made her delete her account. That's wrong. Shout out to, okay, this is the other guy I looked at. I was looking up both of them to see if they still existed. Elon Musk just tweeted this. FTX losing over $1 billion of clients' funds. And senators calling for the FTC to investigate Twitter. So hold on. Hold up. FTX losing $1 billion of clients' funds. Why? SES is trying to create a fire with Ripple. That's what that should have said. So we're moving on. Let me see what else we got here. We got like 2 more little clips. And okay, Alameda Research explored race, science, and peril. Okay, here I got the picture. Blog ex-Alameda CEO on science and math in her favorite movies, Harry Potter. That's what it talks about in here. Sam Bankman-Fried, co-founder FTX, other colleagues in $30 million penthouse in Bahamas. The most high-level decisions pertaining to the operation of a $32 billion exchange was led to a whole bunch of the drunk kids. Like, how did this happen? How did this happen? This is crazy. I think we all got affected by this, even myself. I like to apologize. I did issue some challenges. We did crush it on the Solana challenge, but the Sermon Radom challenge didn't make it. So, hey, I apologize. You know, I think Sam kind of manipulated us all. Former COO of Alameda Research. I tracked him down. Of course, he didn't delete his Twitter yet. And like I said, guys, we go live at 1. I will get this video up right now. And we're going to talk about completely different stuff on the live stream. I'm going to do different stuff on my Bullish Network channel than my live stream channel. I will link the live stream in the description and in the comments. Also, guys, we started the baddest Reddit on the planet, and we got the baddest podcast on the planet. I will link all those in the description. Let me know what you guys think about this video below, or what's going on in the world of crypto. Much love. Mahalo.